don't forget. You start to.
Man, this quality is terrible. Let's see. I guess there's not really much I can do about the quality. Jeez. I've got to get a webcam or something. What's going on, y'all? Just wanted to check in, talk with y'all for a little bit while I'm waiting on this phone call so I can go and get my bills. To me, the camera quality looks terrible. I don't know what it looks like to y'all, but I apologize. No hippie trucking transportation, Lyle. It's good talking to you on the phone. I'm glad you can make it. I already know I'm going to say a lot. Just go ahead and bear with me. But I'm back on the road. Finally back on the road. First night back on the truck. Almost overslept already. I heard that reefer running, and when I tell you, like, I think this only goes to like reefer drivers. Like once you're in the industry and you get used to that reefer sound, well, this is for the solo drivers, because as a trainer, I would freak out if the truck was not moving. But once you get used to that reefer sound, it's just, man, that's the best white noise machine ever. I almost overslept my appointment, and I slept at the customer. So I needed that sleep. Like, sleeping at home was great, don't get me wrong, but it's something about that reefer, man. Ah, such good sleep. Rick, how's it going? Good morning, good morning. Do it all. What's going on? I think I owe you a phone call back, too. I owe a lot of people a phone call back over these past 2 weeks. But I'm going to get with you today because I have a question for you. But what are y'all doing this morning? Like, well, I know I'm in Alabama getting unloaded, which should be probably just starting. I'm probably going to be here a while. But I've been, I don't know. They hooked me up with this short little run. So to finish my home time, like I said on my last video, I bobtailed from Atlanta to Savannah, and I was just going to get a load out of Savannah, in which that didn't work out because they actually had me bobtail back to Atlanta to pick up this load going to Alabama. It's a pretty, it would have been a good paying load. I mean, technically, it's still a good paying load, even after my fuel cost and my essentially 500-mile deadhead. But they were bobtails, so I didn't really burn a lot of fuel, but it was still a decent paying load. When I woke up on Monday morning, when I showed available, there was a load in Savannah. There were actually two loads in Savannah that I could have brought to Atlanta, and they were dropping hooks, but they weren't loaded, and they didn't have a destination, which I haven't heard that one before. But it had no destination. It had a destination date, but not a destination place or a destination time. So my thinking, I was just going to pick it up, drop it off at the Atlanta yard, pick up this load, and keep moving. So I waited. I got up about 6 a.m. yesterday. I probably waited around until about 1:30. And I called my fleet manager. I'm like, any word? And he's like, nope. I was like, all right, well, headed to the 01 then. Because I don't like, I had to pick up this load by 1800 or 6 o'clock p.m. So I didn't want to wait that long. And I knew it was going to take me, 3.5, 4 hours to get to Atlanta. And then, of course, Atlanta traffic. So that's another hour. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and roll. In which, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have saw I was able to bobtail to the 01. And I think 2 miles before the 01, there's a Chipotle. So I was able to pull in Chipotle and get Chipotle for dinner. It's like me and like 3 other bobtail trucks and a whole bunch of, regular people. But I was lucky enough to get Chipotle for dinner. So that was great. I don't know why I didn't think about eating Chipotle while I was in home time, but I didn't think about it at all. Yeah, work. Are you a driver? Or are you what do you do for work? I'm just gonna start random conversations because I don't have a main topic. I'm just talking. I just want to come and hang out with you guys because I've been going through the footage that I did or I was able to record, and that footage is pretty sketch on a sobriety level. So I don't think I may not be able to upload any of it. I may be able to take like certain clips because I thought they were really funny, but a lot of that footage I'm not gonna be able to use because it's pretty like, as you guys know, I don't curse on my channel, so it's a lot of cursing by accident. Well, I mean, I was not really sober, so not really an accident, but I don't like cursing. So, or cursing on YouTube anyway. Catch me on the phone or, you know, in traffic, it's a different story. But at least here on YouTube, I don't curse. So I'm probably not gonna be able to use a lot of that footage. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Well, hopefully new position's a good thing, right? I'm assuming that's a good thing. But congratulations. You know, at least you are working. There's a lot of people that aren't, so definitely congrats to you. Um, like I was saying, I was going through it. I'm going to continue to go through the footage. You know, now that I'm back on the truck, I've got moved in. I got some stuff added to the truck. I'm going to do a tour video. Hopefully this week. Hopefully this week I'll be able to get that out there or get it recorded at least. Yeah, I'm gonna work on it this week. I know there was a couple other channels that wanted to feature the truck on their channel, and which I still want to do, but I know for sure I need to have it. You know, it's my truck. I should have it on my channel, so I will get with those other YouTubers and and work out some details, some details for them. But I do need to get a tour out because I have been in this truck now for about a week and a half working, and then took 2 weeks off, and then now I'm back. So about a month. I've been in here about a month, so it's time. Ooh, not a pay cut. That's a lot. I won't get into details of why, but or why you would choose to do that. You know, it's obviously your personal business. But I am in Missouri a lot. I've noticed with this truck. I mean, even just the 2 weeks I was working, I had to stop in Missouri twice. So two of them were pass through, or one of them was pass through. One of them was a overnight stay. But I'm in Missouri a lot. 5,000. You might have to call my accountant on that one because that's not a tax write-off. That's not a charitable donation. I don't know about that do it all, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm just getting unloaded. It was a quick load, like 30,000 pounds, 170 miles. So got that knocked out the way. I need to see where my next load is going because I don't have a pre-plan. I probably need to get on with that. I don't know. With us being in Alabama, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of options for me, to be honest. But like I said, it's my vacation was really nice. Oh, there are loads. I gotta get with my fleet manager and see what he would like for me to do. But yeah, like I said, it was I had a really good vacation. Like I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm trying to think of a way. It's like, oh, la da 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 da. But shoot, what else? Well, just answering that question, I was just thinking about how to actually word how exactly my vacation went. So that vacation, it was. I know I'm messing around with my phone. Forgive me, but looking at some of this stuff, that vacation was pretty pimp. Like I I really enjoyed that vacation. Now, let me preface this conversation before I continue on. 14 days. So usually when I take home time here at Prime for the past 2 years, or almost 2 years, I've only taken like 2 to 4, maybe 5 days. And that was a long time to me. So this time around, I decided to take 14 days off. And so I spent 7 days in Vegas. So those first 7 days were good. Like I had a blast on those 7 days. Um, Now, when I actually got home, I actually moved into a new place as well. So that, I don't have a lot of stuff because obviously I live on a truck. So it took one day. Like I went home, I voted. After I voted, I came home, or I went over to my parents' house, got my stuff that I was moving, and moved into my new place. I was done in like 5 hours. Excuse me. So it's not like I have a ton of stuff, but it was really just a lot of time for me to take off. To be honest, I don't think I'll do that again. Like unless I have like a trip or something. Outside of that, I probably won't do that again because that was a lot. It was really a lot. Like I didn't need that much time off. But not, obviously I am grateful, but that I was able to take the time off. But it's just a lot of time. It's just too much. So in the future, I'll probably stick to, 3 to 5 days like normal. So Rick, I am not on that board. I'm actually messaging my fleet manager on our mobile app that we have here at Prime. But I'm glancing at so Prime does have a load board that I kind of look at from time to time on a separate side. I can't pick any of those loads, but I just see what's in my area and where it's going and how much it pays. So that's the load board that I'm looking at. But like I said, that's why I'm going on my phone, flipping through the loads to see exactly what's around here. And I mean, it's not a ton of places, but it's not really a ton of places. But this something to get me rolling and get me, out of where I currently am. So, and I mean, that's really all I'm looking at. Like, I don't know. Like this one looks okay. I doubt I'm gonna get it, but I can ask for it. Give me just a second. And this is why I need a piece of paper. Let's see. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's not really much. I mean, it gets me going, but it's not like, it's not like, oh man, I gotta take that one. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm super neglecting you guys. Hey, yo, what's going on, man? Oh, so you're going to be here next week. Where am I going to be next week? Who knows? Are you getting your training done at the Springfield terminal? I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Reefer to me. So Reefer is a crazy, crazy hectic schedule. Like we're 24/7 business 93% of the time. I like the crazy hours. Like I don't like having a set schedule. That's one of the reasons I didn't, because when I first came to Prime, I really wanted to go to the tanker division. But from what I hear, tanker is a lot like flatbed, and you will never catch me doing flatbed ever. It's just a set schedule. Usually receivers and shippers are closed on weekends. I'm used to, so before I came to Prime, I was a corporate office guy without getting into too much detail. I was a corporate office guy. Set schedule is cool, but I just wanted something different. So, just like with this load, like I said, I woke up 6 a.m. yesterday, started driving from Savannah to Atlanta at 1 p.m., picked up my load at, I don't even know what time I got there. It's like 7 or 8. That's because I was, slow poking and lollygagging this bobtail. I had plenty of time. But picked up my load like 7 or 8 p.m., drove to the receiver, and was able to park here overnight at 10 p.m. And then my load wasn't scheduled to deliver until 9 a.m. this morning. So there is sitting, but the sitting, at least for me, the sitting is really it. I know it could be worse. Now, when I was a trainer, I noticed that I was sitting a lot, like a lot more than what I even from today and yesterday and the week and a half I drove solo before I took my vacation. I wasn't sitting nearly as much as I was sitting as a trainer. Now, I will say I did have to sit for 24 hours when I had to take that load from Laredo, Texas to Kentucky. That's a wild guess. I don't remember without looking at my phone again. I have no idea where that went. But I had to sit. But the only reason I had to sit for 24 hours is because I ran out of hours. So I was completely done with my 70-hour clock. And I think it was like a 12 or 13-hour recap at that midnight. But so it was like not long enough for me to sit for 34, but just had to sit for 24 hours. So I had to really adjust that sleep schedule, in which I still ended up oversleeping. Luckily, I had a bunch of time on the load anyway. But it was one of those, drop ASAP loads. So there's sitting, but it's not, to me as a solo driver, I'm not sure what you're going to do, if you're going to, train, or if you're going to team, or, what the situation is. But as far as me, or as far as this truck is concerned, I don't really sit that much. Like, if it's not on purpose, like if I have to sit, it's because I chose to sit. Like when my fleet manager sends me a load and I look at the time, like right now, I know if he sends me a load, I know that I've been up since 7 a.m. If he sends me a load right now that doesn't pick up, or that, is either late to pick up, because I've been getting those sometimes, or it picks up here at like noon, and there's a lot of factors that I weigh as far as pickup time, delivery appointment date and time, how far I got to go. And then I calculate, okay, if I do this amount of miles today, I can do this amount of miles tomorrow. But I'm the work hard now and rest later kind of guy. So I know, like, if it's a load that's going to be more than 600 miles, I know that I'm going to, do at least 6 to 650, or I'll say 630 that first day. And let's say it's a 700-mile load. That way, that second day, I've only got to drive an hour and some change. Two, the reason why I do that is because when I am delivering, I have essentially a full clock. I only drove an hour. So I can deliver that load, and there could be another load like, hey, we're late to pick this up. Can you run in this load? You got the perfect amount of time. Like, yep. So while I'm getting, while that dropping that load off, getting unloaded, I got my 30-minute break in. I've got a full clock. So and I'm off to pick up that load, take it. Usually it's a 1 day load. In that particular situation, anything 400 to 500 miles is usually what in that situation is usually what I get. And yeah, but that's why I do it. Like, I think that is, I won't say a blueprint, but that's how I run my loads, because I know it's going to increase my profit. So like if I have 800-mile load and I do 300 the first day because, I'm tired. Obviously, if I'm too tired to drive, pull over. I don't care how many miles I have left to do, because my safety comes first. The load will get there. I do care if it's late, because it's rare that I'm late. I won't say I've never been late, but I definitely pride myself on my punctuality. So, but again, if I'm tired, I'm going to pull over and go to sleep. And that's actually how I was late on one of my loads before. I was completely too tired to drive. I got coffee, I got a little energy drink. I, forced myself to try and drive it through. And, it was to the point, like, I wasn't falling asleep at the wheel, but it was to the point where I would like see animals on the not on the, in the lane, but on the shoulders that I know shouldn't be there. And I'm like, nah, rest area, I gotta go. So like, I think one time I saw like an elephant in the trees or something, some ridiculous. And I'm like, no way. And, pulled over to the rest area and went to sleep, but communication. When I did pull over and, I pulled off, stopped, and I only told him like, hey, I have got to take a nap, and I took like a 2-3 hour nap, in which, the load was late, but I was only 45 minutes late, but it still counted. But I told him like, hey, I'm too tired to drive. I've got to stop. Obviously, at least here at Prime, I don't know how it is at other companies or if you work for yourself or whatever it is. Here at Prime, we do want to be on time. We want to be on time, but your safety does come first. Like, irregardless of what is going on, like if it's snow on the ground, drive to your ability. Don't drive because you see other people driving. Like, if you're not comfortable driving in the snow, stop, pull over, give your fleet manager, hey, it's snowing, I'm not comfortable. Obviously, you do want to do steps like if you don't really need to stop, you do want to do steps like obviously slow down, increase your following distance, don't trail behind someone. If you know it's actively cold and it's been raining or it's snow and there's someone in front of you and you don't see, the road spray coming off their tires, there's ice on the ground, slow down. If there's a chain law, for those of you who do it, hats off to you. Chain up your tires. This truck ain't doing it. I don't do chains. The only time that this truck will have chains on it is if I am driving and I happen to get stuck somewhere. I only chain to get out of a situation. I don't chain to get myself in one because, on the contrary of me thinking about it, if I chain to get in a situation and then, for whatever reason, the snow really comes down and we get stuck anyway, what's the point? I could have stopped way before then, let the snow build up in front of me and then let it die back down, and I drive straight through while, everybody else is getting fished out of the snow. So that's just my philosophy. You can, obviously you guys drive how you drive, but yeah, that's the only way I'm seeing chains. But it's all about safety. And I always go on this rant and I completely forget what I was talking about. So let's catch up on comments. Yeah, you got to stop and sleep for sure. Yeah, and it was, I think I was in like South Dakota. Like, there's first of all, if you see an elephant on a shoulder anywhere, something's wrong. Okay, let's go ahead and, like, first and foremost, if you see an elephant, a giraffe, something like that on the shoulder of a highway, something's wrong. Either you're seeing things or you need to figure out what's happening up ahead because something crazy has probably happened. Like, I don't know, someone transporting animals spilled, tipped over or rolled over or whatever the case may be. Something's going on. You need to figure it out quickly. But yeah, and that's how I knew I was tired. Like, I've never been that tired before because usually, even I can get a little tired, but I'm not one of the people that, like, I'll yawn. I'm like, oh, I got to call it a day. Like, I'm not one of those people. Like, I'll yawn a couple times. I'll do as much as I can safely. But, as soon as I have an inkling of a feeling like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, I immediately right then and there pull over because, the truck can only make money if there's a driver in it. And if you're asleep, there's no driver in it. So you gotta, like, you have to look out for you as your safety, and you have to look out for your truck. And that's all. And by you doing that, you're also looking out for Prime because even though, like, yes, being late is a bad thing, sure. But getting the load there at all is even better because you don't want to wake up and you're rolled over in a ditch hanging upside down because you fell asleep behind the wheel. Now the trailer's totaled out. That load is totaled out because, everybody that's called Prime in the past, day, we heard the safety messages. We had a rollover. He didn't give the reason why that driver, stopped on the shoulder, but he stopped on the soft shoulder. The whole truck rolled over. You just got to be cautious of where you're stopping. I agree with those safety messages. Like, if it's not a dire emergency, I don't stop on the shoulder for any reason. Like, it has to be a severe emergency for me to stop on the shoulder because stuff like that happens. Like, shoulder could be too soft because those shoulders are not made for 80,000 pounds. I could pull over even if I have my lights on. There could be a car that's, drunk, falls, or someone else falls asleep at the wheel. They could hit the back of my trailer, and if I don't have an emergency, I'm at fault. I'm not supposed to be there. So I don't stop on the shoulder. Like, and the only times I've ever stopped on the shoulder, I've had a tire blowout, and we have super singles. If we don't have one of our tires, we got to stop because we'll be driving on rim. You know, those people that have duals, you guys can like limp it. We can't do that. It's got to be like, as soon as I hear that blowout, immediate shoulder. But also when I hit the shoulder, I try and separate. There's a shoulder here, and there's a line that separates the shoulder from the highway. I try and get over it where I can at least swing my door out to where it won't cross that line because I want to be as far off the shoulder as possible. Because as truck drivers, we know if we see a vehicle on the shoulder, whether it be police, ambulance, fire unit, ambulance, pretty sure I said that already. Another truck, I don't care if it's a car, because my TNT trainer taught me that, if there's a car on the shoulder, get over. And the reason why he taught me that, and I'll share that with y'all, is he had a friend that at an old company he used to work for that didn't get over for a car, no lights on. It was just a car on the shoulder. But the driver was sitting or standing outside of his car and jumped in front of his truck and killed himself. And that terrified me. And that's why I don't care what's on the shoulder, I'm getting over. Like, if someone uses me to commit suicide, I honestly have no idea what I would do. So, and that's just one thing. And that's why I said, as truck drivers, we know to get over, at least me. But, some of the, I won't say some of the people, because I know some of you guys, but, people that drive cars, they tend to not care, So as truck drivers, if we have a blowout on our driver's side and our driver's side is on the, right off the highway, we have to get out on that side sometimes. Sometimes there's a ditch on our passenger side. We can't get on the passenger side. So, to be safe, we have to get on the driver's side and basically hug the side of our truck and trailer, depending on where the issue is. We have to walk down, 73 feet to the back of our trailer. There's cars that don't move over. I'm a person that's standing right there, and there's a car that can blow by me doing 95 and not care. So, have your lights on, have your four ways on. I have a flashlight with a strobe. That's like 5,000 lumens. I know people hate me coming down the highway if I'm on the shoulder, and I don't care because I will turn that light on and point it at the ground. And if I see that a car, truck, whatever is not getting over, I will point it at them. Why? Because I can't be safe if you're not allowing me to be safe. So obviously I'm not going to continue shining it at their face, but I'll shine it up and put it right back down so they know someone's walking right there, because some people are, falling asleep, or, cars drunk driving. They just see whatever they see. But, I flash a light, and 9 times out of 10 that works. And the only time I do that is if I see that that left lane to the next to them is empty. Obviously, if there's a car or truck next to them, I'm not going to do that because they just can't be safe. And so I just go under the trailer and wait for them to pass by, come back out on the road, and keep going. I know I keep running my mouth, but when I can't keep my eyes open, it's time to stop. Exactly. Every time, it never fails. I will never not do that, because the second that I fall asleep with an 80,000 pound vehicle, a great thing for me will be to run off the road. I think if it's, if I'm the only injury, or, hopefully I don't get injured, but if I'm the only injury or whatever damage it is, I'm cool with that. My fear is going to sleep and the truck stays straight, and, someone slows down in front of me, cuts me off, and I'm asleep. I can't react, and I hit them and kill them. It's 80,000 pounds. So obviously I'm going to hit them, and I'm going to keep going because I'm asleep. I never want to be in that situation. So yeah, the second I get over, second I start getting sleepy, I pull it over. What happens if a load gets canceled? How much do you get paid off of that? And I made it all the way here. That would be, it's in your payment schedule. It's a settlement code called truck ordered not used. It's TONU, so TONU paid. I think it's $250, $275, something like that. But you'll have to look in your payroll settlement codes. There's a whole list of codes that we get paid for, and it tends to have the amount on there. The only amount it doesn't have on there is detention because it varies by customer. But stuff like that, like breakdown pay, that's constant. That's on there. Truck order not used, that's on there. Layover pay, that's on there. Weather breakdown or weather pay, that's on there. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know. It's a legal requirement in some states to move or if there's a stop vehicle on the side of the road. Rick, you are absolutely right. Also, 95% of the people that drive cars do not care. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it where I'll be driving in the right lane. Obviously I'm looking as far ahead as I can. If I'm, I can tend to see, half a mile, quarter of a mile, as far as I can, depending on the conditions. But as soon as I see something on the shoulder, I'm getting over. And I know I'm doing 65 and 70 or 75. I'm getting over. I don't care how fast truck behind me is going. I'm getting over because I don't want to get in a situation where I wait until that truck tries to pass me, and for some reason, Prime gets harassed on the highways. So a truck could be going 80, see a Prime truck, and then slow down just slow enough to where his trailer will not pass my cab. And then I'm stuck at 65 with this guy. Like, yes, I could slow down, but usually when that happens and I do slow down, so does that dude. Or there's another truck behind that truck doing 80, probably on the CB radio cussing that guy out while he's going so slow in the fast lane. And then I'm stuck in the right lane with the hazard on the shoulder. So then that puts me, then I'm stuck. So as soon as if I see the hazard, I'm getting over as soon as possible, safely, obviously. But I want to get over as soon as possible because I don't want to get stuck. And then, that situation happens to me, like my trainer was teaching me, that person may just be tired of life and jumps out in front of me. I would cry. I kid you guys not. I would be completely destroyed as a person and a human being if someone jumps at my truck. Like every time I pass in one of the overhead bridges and there's no like gate. Oh man, even people walking and jogging, I'm like, what if they jump over and they land on my windshield? I have no idea what I would do. I would just be completely destroyed as a person. Like I have no idea what it'll do for my career. I don't know. Hopefully it never, ever, ever happens. But I'm always, always, always cautious of that. That I think about every time I turn my truck on. That's the first thing I think about. And that's why, my safety record is impeccable. Like I'm huge on safety. When I'm training my students, huge on safety. I don't care if you drove 150 to 200 miles. If you wake me up, which I tell them, if you don't feel comfortable driving at any point, wake me up. I'm already used to a little sleep. Just wake me up. If you drove 150, 200 miles and you tell me you're starting to fall asleep, pull over. I don't care. The load will get there. I don't care. Like, but we need to get there. So, like, safety is a huge, huge, huge thing for me. It should be for everybody, but I know as me in particular, I take safety over money every time. Like, because the safer I am, the more money I make. So you just have to think of things like that. Let's see. Someone took the load yesterday morning and they say they had to look into it, so he gave me a new load and told me that I don't get anything off of it. That's not right. No, I don't think that's right. Well, in this instance, the only way that wouldn't be right is if he added those empty miles to the new load, on top of what you actually have to drive. And then the revenue obviously will reflect that. So that's the only way that they can work it out where you don't get truck order not used pay. But also, I would definitely still ask for that because you should qualify for it. Because if someone picked that load up yesterday morning and you were dispatched on it still this morning, that's a sales thing. That's a sales and dispatch thing. That's not a you thing. What's going on, Ray? Yeah, I decided to go live this morning because I'm waiting to get unloaded, and of course it starts raining. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Oh, I got a green light. Just gotta wait on the call to get my paperwork. But Yeah, I decided to go live because I know I was supposed to upload content for from my vacation, but it's I don't think I'm going to use that footage. I might use a couple clips, but that's it. But I decided to go ahead and go live and then get back to my, regular vlog style videos because I don't know. I think those are fun. But I also got my hair done. So usually when I do the vlog style, like my video before my vacation, I put on a hat and then I clip the GoPro onto the hat. But now with my braids back here, my head is I hate that I'm gonna say this. My head is too big for me to put the hat on. So like I can put it on, but it won't go to the back of my head to the front because my hair is sticking in the back. So it won't go on. So now I gotta find a new way to actually do that. I might just hold it like a normal person, but I like to be hands free, especially if I decide to do I don't know, something. I like to be hands free. Let's say that. But but yeah. Um like I said, I get off on a tangent and I completely forget what I was talking about in the first place. So um no, it's not coming to me. But anyway, so like I said, I do have a green light. There's like a washout like 30 miles west of me. It's another washout like 28 miles east of me. There's a truck stop like 4 or 5 miles north of me. It's just like it was like, what do I really need to do? And also, I don't have a load yet, so I don't really know what my next direction is. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna do here. Um, but that's one of the things about about being a driver. Sometimes you get a pre-plan, sometimes you don't. All right, Lyle, I'll catch you later. I hope you have a good day too as well. I hope that load definitely works out for you. Like I said, I definitely like those Chobani loads. Um, I know that definitely gets you out of the Northeast, so I know it's always going to be a good thing. Which reminds me, I don't have my New York sticker, so hopefully I don't have to go to Northeast either, or at least not New York. But I like upstate New York, so that's kind of the weird thing though. Um, but yeah, I guess we're gonna get with dispatch to see because I'm about to be. I mean, I guess they're about to call me to get my paperwork so I can leave, but I don't have a destination. So I don't know what they want me to do. So I've been on here 38 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna publish this or not. Thought that was a notification I needed. Um, I don't even know if this place needs a lumper check or not. Like I don't know. They gave me paperwork saying that they were gonna call me if they needed it. It's just a lot going on with this customer. Now this was a dope load. Like if I didn't head down to Savannah and stayed in Atlanta like I originally planned, like this load was a good paying load. I think it's 179 like GPS miles. It's like 175 dispatch miles, but 179 GPS miles, and it paid like $630, something like that. And you know, I did set up an emergency fund before I went on home time, or like when I first got this truck, I set up an e-fund. So I'm actually not in the hole that much. So even with taking 2 weeks off, because it's just happened to be planned like that, I guess, or not. I guess I planned it that way. But I mean, with this 600, I think if without looking at my spreadsheet, if I just had to take a wild guess, I think I'm only in the hole like $1,000. After this load. So if I can get in another load before payroll cut off, you know, 2 days and I'm out the hole off a 14-day vacation. So that's good in my book, at least for my business, because you know, how long have I been working that $600 load? I was dispatched on it yesterday, and I picked it up and came to my receiver all before midnight last night. So, um, like I said, I had to come from Savannah. So if I had to do the accurate number, I woke up at about 6 a.m. yesterday, and I was already, I woke up to it dispatched on me already, or it was proposed. The pickup was 1800 or 6 p.m. So I had to do from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was up, but drove from Savannah to Atlanta to Alabama, and I actually parked at the customer, and I was done by 10 p.m. So actual time, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And you know, it it was an okay load for the amount of miles. Now for the amount of, like I said, for the amount of time I had to put in because I was in Savannah, it kind of balanced out basically my fuel costs that I put in to go from Atlanta to Savannah, and then Savannah back to Atlanta to the Georgia Alabama border. There's a Love's in Waco, Texas that I got to, and I basically just put in my fuel for the rest of this payroll week, which ends on Wednesday, which was another 50 gallons just in case I got something leaving today that can drop before payroll tomorrow. So I guess actual time, like I was saying, if I would have stayed in Atlanta and not gone down to Savannah, I would have got on my truck, drove. I think that customer's like 13 miles from my house. We drove 13 miles and then 168, 170 to the customer. It would have taken me 3.5, 4 hours tops. Did this load put me in a better market? No, it did not. Well, for it being Tuesday, kind of not. I won't say a better market because Atlanta for me is a great market for me. Obviously, because I live there. It's easy for me to get home, easy for me to get out, and I usually can go basically anywhere I want from Atlanta. As far as a better market, no, because it's Alabama. Alabama doesn't have a ton of stuff coming out of it. Just like I was saying when I was looking at the public load board that Prime has, it's just a bunch of the same, like it's loads basically from the same customer with different, some of it was the same weight, some of it was a different weight. Some of it had, essentially the same trip number outside of one or two numbers. But, it just wasn't a ton of, I guess customers is the word I'm looking for. It's just not a ton of options. Like there's loads, but they're loads from like the same 2 to 3 companies. So not essentially a better market, but I took it because I kind of figured if I got here, like the region that I like to run is not the East Coast. So a better market for you, essentially, to answer your question, is not essentially going to be a better market for me. So like for every other truck driver, it could be in not a good market, but for me to get to the region I like to run in, this was a great load for me because it kind of gets me there. Okay. It kind of gets me towards the region that I like to run in the first place. So it is, obviously your question has 2 answers. So yes, it's a better market, and no, it's not a better market. Yes for me, probably no for everybody else. But I don't know. I guess it's really going to depend on what I can get out of here. Is really going to determine if it's going to be worth it. Like if I can get a load coming out of here that pays about the same or hopefully more, then it'll be worth it because I'll be out the hole and I've only worked 2 days. And like I was saying, I took a 14-day vacation and I'm only in the hole, or I was in the hole like it costs us 12, 13 plus 612, about $1,800 or $1,832, $1,835. So I took this load, $630 gone. So I've only got $1,200 left. So I can either knock that down or knock it out completely, depending on what I can get, then it will be worth it for me. So I don't know. That's just my experience with the hole at Prime. Like, I know I've talked to a couple drivers who are in the hole for days, if not a whole week. You know, they'll work a whole week and still be in the hole. And I don't, nothing against those drivers. I don't think, I gotta be honest. It's probably their fault. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. If obviously, well, if you're a company driver, you're not in the hole. But if you're a lease operator and they send you a load that's going 300 miles and you take it for $400, of course you're going to be in the hole, because you're not, like, if that's your only option, if they tell you that's your only option, I get it. But if you keep doing that, you're never going to be out the hole, because let's say you're already in the hole for your fixed cost, which is $1,200. Well, I don't know what your fixed cost is, but let's just use $1,200. If you're already in the hole for $1,200 and then you use 4 or 5 days. Hold on. Hello. Okay, thank you very much. Time to go. Let me finish my point first. If you're taking a load, paying $300-$400, let's say $300 to make my math easy. If you're in the hole $1,200 and you're taking a load 5 days, 5 of your 7 days, that's $1,200. So yeah, you made $1,200, so now you're out of the hole. But then that's the end of the payroll week. So now what? You're back in the hole for another $1,200. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to, like, you want to do what I like to call revenue rollover. So you want to make your fixed costs for the week and more. So that way, when you go on that next week, you have a paycheck, number one, because $1,200 and your fixed costs, you're still in. No, I was wrong. So you work for that $1,200. You're still in the hole $1,200. Yeah, no, I said that right. I said it. Yeah, you're still in the hole $1,200, because basically you just paid your fixed cost for the week you returned. So you're still in the hole $1,200. So if you do that 2, 3, 4 weeks without saying anything, that's your fault as the driver. You're not speaking up like, hey, I want to get out the hole. Like, yes, it is the dispatcher's responsibility, but it's your money. It's your pocket. Like, I'm not going more than a week without a paycheck. Can I go more than 1 week without a paycheck? Absolutely. Am I going to? No, because I'm working. Why would I do that? So if I can see 2, 3 days as the payroll week, depending on how many, what loads I get, because lately I've been doing day runs, which I prefer that. Actually, I prefer night runs, but that's another story. But I'd much rather do day runs. Night runs, basically loads that take a day. I'd rather do that all day long. People call them short hops. Some of them pay well, some of them don't. I prefer that, because if I can pick up and deliver in the same shift, I can, 6, 7 loads a week. That's great for me. That works out in my budget and works out in my stuff. So we've been on here 48 minutes. I'm now holding a door hostage, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I read all my comments. I'll go back and answer them. Also, please be safe. Don't drive while sleepy. Please don't have any alcohol on the truck, because I've read a story about that on one of my Facebook groups. Just don't. Yeah, just be safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I might do another live depending on how this next load goes, or I'll just do a regular video. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.